How's it going, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I want to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Pixely Wolf, Gabriel Potter, Jason Green, Base564, Grayscale, Ty Bennett, Casey, Pro Tomahawker, Lucius, Austin Davis, Anthony, Noriden XD, Boop the Snoot, Michael Tieran, Nick, Kaya the Great, Christian Andre Cavande, Seven Gates, Aaron Bates, Diablo2604, Slivarium, Octocat, Redemption, It's Silver, Aubrey Byrne, Starkiller SCP-049, Thoughtful 03 Guy, JK844, D, Ariel, and as always, I want to give a big shout out to our executive producers, Bevan Brummett and Tavon. Thank you all very much for your support. And if you want to become a Patreon supporter, click the link in the description to find out more. We'll see you there.
Alright,
here we go.
Count three. 1, 2, 3. Whee! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Alright. What do I hear? Oh no! Oh god!
What happened?
I just got hit by lawnmowers that were falling.
Do I regret becoming a YouTuber? Well, this is the video that we're going to be watching, and I ask myself that question every now and again. Do I regret becoming a YouTuber? Overall, no. Overall, I would say my life has been very... my life has prospered a lot more than me working for a soulless corporation like AT&T or Sprint. But here I am finding myself working for another soulless corporation, Google. But in truth, I'm a contractor for them, and I'm not really an employee. So that's how they get around the taxes. Ha ha ha. So anyway, yeah, they dump all the taxes off on us, which... That's one thing that they don't tell you about, doing YouTube, is that you are an independent contractor, and unless you're going through a network that offers to do your taxes for you or withhold your money for you, then basically you're on your own. And that's how it's been since Fullscreen dropped us. I remember when that happened, we weren't making enough to really, I don't think we were making enough really to, like, claim on taxes or anything like that, but then they were like, oh yeah, by the way, we're dropping you as of right now. We're releasing you from your 2-year contract less than 6 months in. So, yeah, take care, bye. And that was that. And I remembered when that happened, my heart sank, because I'm like, what are we going to do? What can we do? And then I looked, and I applied for a Google AdSense account, and I got one immediately. And then I linked it to the YouTube account, and that's it. Basically, if you're approved for ads on your account, you can get your own Google AdSense account. But belonging to a network nowadays, it's not like it was back in the early days, when MCNs basically took an X amount of your money, and they were like, oh yeah, by the way, we have these opportunities for you. We don't really know when they're going to be coming, but they'll be coming, and you'll be able to make money through advertisements, through like ad breaks or sponsorships. And that never happened for us through Fullscreen. And nowadays basically it's the same deal, but they actually honor those agreements. Because I know there's some that shut down. I know Defy shut down in magnanimous fashion, basically stealing a bunch of people's money and then just leaving them out, in the breeze. And then Fullscreen, they got bought by AT&T. So actually, if Fullscreen would have kept us after the acquisition by AT&T, I would have still been working for AT&T. That's one thing that gets me. These corporations own so much, and there's very little room for you to, like, be free of any of these massive corporations. I mean, my mom told me about Ma Bell back in the day. You know what Ma Bell was? Ma Bell was the lone provider of telecommunications in the United States for the public. You know how we have AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint? You know, you have all those. Imagine them all being under one umbrella.
And they were a monopoly.
Yes, that is exactly what it was. And in the 80s, when antitrust legislation was actually taken into effect, they basically broke the companies up. They broke up Ma Bell into all these different organizations, and it basically shook up the business world for a while. And there's talk of that now with Google, with Twitter, with Facebook, about them breaking up these companies and everything, which I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't.
Mm.
The United States government gets way too much information from these companies to split them up and make things more difficult for themselves.
Yeah.
But either way, that's a whole other video. This video here, I'm wondering what regrets, if any, that Let Me Explain Studios would have. So
Rebecca is her name.
Huh?
Rebecca is her name.
Oh yeah, but 3.76 million subscribers. There's got to be some regrets to get to that number.
I think this is the first time we reacted to her stuff, maybe.
No, we reacted to one of hers before.
Or maybe one other, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm a big fan of her in addition to Jaden and Odd Ones Out.
Well, yeah, the animation YouTubers
I think the one we
came up from
still
like
haven't reacted
2020.
to that I still would like to react to at some point because I also like her a lot is Tabs.
Tabs, yeah.
Tabs is hilarious.
We did Emery Chew for a little bit when people were requesting that in the Discord. This was requested in our Discord, by the way. And if you want to make a request, Discord's the best way to reach us. So feel free to head over there to do that. Excuse me. But for right now, let's see what regrets that Rebecca has. Here we go.
QnA 2022, Scene 1, Take 1.
I'm ready like Betty. Let's boop-boopy-doo this bad boy. I asked for questions and my explainers did not disappoint. You're here for my scandalous answers, so let's get this train a-moving. What was your least favorite subject you took in any school? Any variation of math that wasn't geometry? And I hear that's very common for creative folks.
I actually
We
agree.
can be very good at geometry because it's such a visual type of math. Now that you have a fancy treehouse, do you plan to get an animal sidekick? Alright everyone, line up here for the audition for Rebecca's
Totoro.
animal sidekick.
Pick Totoro.
Those plushies aren't gonna sell themselves. Do you have funny scuba diving stories, and do you still dive? I still dive sometimes, but definitely not as much as I used to when I was younger. But I have a whole slew of diving stories I could tell you, and probably will in a future video. In fact, I have one big one that I have been saving in my back pocket for a special occasion. I don't know when I'll tell it to you all, but I eventually will. Did you figure out a way back into the treehouse after Laddie messed up the lift? Working on it. Do you rough sketch when you draw, or do you start with the line art? I'll show you over the span of this question. I start off with very rough sketches like these, then after that, I draw in the line art. Slap some color on this tall drink of water, and you got me. Okay, I saw so many My Little Pony questions that I'm just gonna quickly blurt out stuff. My favorite pony is Applejack, followed closely by Rarity. People tell me I'm most like Rarity, but I consider myself a perfect blend of her and Applejack. My favorite song is Apples to the Core, followed closely by You're in My Head Like a Catchy Song. That episode made me cry. And while I don't know what my current pony Sona would look like, I drew this one for myself many years ago and named her Curtain Call. Do with that as you will. What's your favorite currently airing cartoon? Probably Amphibia, but there are so many great shows going on right now. What was your favorite part about designing your treehouse, and where did you get the idea? I had the idea of putting Toon Becca in a physical location a couple of years ago. Something to ground her while she's narrating and really reinforce that feeling of a friend inviting you in for a visit and telling you stories. And because I had expressed my love for treehouses in a previous video, I thought, what better place to put her? My favorite part in designing it was researching. I spent a lot of time on Pinterest and interior decorating websites, and I have a lot of folders on my computer filled with inspiration for the look and feel of her treehouse. And it was fun figuring out what objects Toon Becca would want in her house and the secret stories behind them. How many boxes of mac and cheese would it take to fill your bath?
24.
What's your favorite step in the video making process, and what's your least favorite step? Honestly, I really love writing the script and doing the overall concept development, like figuring out what the moral and the theme of the story is, narrator Rebecca's outfit, the main color of the backgrounds, just the overall look and feel of the video and what I want to say. And my least favorite step of the process is audio editing. It's when I take all of my raw voiceover where I did a dozen takes of every line, find the best ones, and edit them all together. And for a standard video of mine, you're looking at 1 to 2 hours of raw audio to sift through. I honestly wish I could hand this over to someone else, but I'm very nitpicky about line delivery and voice quality. So just imagine doing this for hours.
I have done that. I did that for so many takes on people with their, whenever they were like doing takes on vocals, doing takes on guitar. There are so many things that go into just like the intricacies of getting the take. That's what I've heard so many people call it, the take. And some...
Oh, that's also one of the reasons, and I've told Ariel now, like, I promise, stupidly, without thinking about what would go into it, that if I hit, like, X donation goal on a stream, and Ariel was the one that basically paid for that, that I would release me reading The Call of Cthulhu on a video, and... when I actually sat down and started recording that and realized how many different takes and stuff I'd have to do of each line, I realized that reading the entirety of The Call of Cthulhu was a monumental task in both doing so and editing it and everything. I told Ariel if she ever wanted to, she could pop into voice chat on Discord and hit me up, and I would read her a chapter of The Call of Cthulhu on Discord.
So, here recently... Daily Dose of Internet did a thing. He posted a thing on Twitter. He's just like, I will do a full read. I will do a reading. I will say whatever the most liked thing on Twitter is. You know what someone posted? The B-movie script. And he did all of it.
Wow.
A 58-minute video of him reading the B-movie script.
And it only took 58 minutes to read the script?
Well, think about it. I mean, how much in between animation is there?
I guess
that
that's
is
a good
just
point.
Silence.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So, again, just intricacies of that level just baffle me. Like how much goes into it, like how much went into it when I was doing it back in the day. But anyway, I guess we're just gonna get back into this.
So just imagine doing this for hours. So just imagine doing this for hours. So just imagine doing this for hours.
Yes.
I love my job.
I forget how many takes I've done of the... You know that little intro bit that we do? He's like, what's good, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I want to give a shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters and YouTube members.
When we used to work in the same office and didn't have our computer and had our computers in the same space, and rather than separated like they are now, I was sitting there a lot of times and I'd hear like, how's it going over... Fuck. How's it going over... Fuck.
That's how it goes. That's the literal truth. Like, I remember you were in a call one time on Discord, and someone was just like, "Is Nate recording the intro?" And I was like, just, yeah. And there's like,
they're like, so cool to hear this actually done live.
And then I did the read through of all the names, and I got it. And one time, I got every name in one take the first time, and then I was just like, "Whoo!" And then all of a sudden, like you told me, someone said, "Tell Nate he's doing a great job."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it was like I left my mic unmuted while you were doing that. I was like, all right, I'll talk again when Nate gets done recording the intro. And they just sat there and listened to you record it like through my microphone, and they were like, that was fucking impressive.
I went, yeah, real professional here, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ.
What was the hardest project you had to do in animation school? How long did it take to do, and how did it turn out? That would definitely be my thesis film, Bottled Opera. It took roughly 1.5 years to make from start to finish, half of junior year and all of senior year. I lost a lot of hair, a lot of weight, and a lot of sleep while working on that project. I would even venture to say that it is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. And I guess it turned out good? Not great, just good. I know some of you may look at it and think I'm being too hard on myself, but by animation industry standards, it barely made the cut. Fun fact, this film is the reason I sing opera now. The process of making my thesis was absolute hell, so if you want me to make a video about that story, then go ahead and let me know in the comments below. What are your pronouns?
I would like to hear
She,
that.
her. Thanks for asking. What's your favorite planet? Ever since I was a kid, my favorite has been Saturn because I like its rings. Now that you've become a toon, have you taken any precautions against a Who Framed Roger Rabbit scenario? Has there ever been a video that took a mental toll while trying to record the audio? When making my Draw My Life video, there were a couple of times that were emotionally hard for me to record or animate. When you recount your life, you're forced to revisit some painful memories and reflect on how they've affected you as a person. The moment I sat down and had to start animating the scene where I talk about Dad's death, I took about 10 minutes to just sit and cry. I needed to get it out of my system so I could focus on the task at hand. Have you ever regretted becoming a YouTuber? I don't know if I've ever regretted becoming a YouTuber so much as I have missed aspects of quote-unquote normal life. There are many positive things about being a YouTuber, stuff that I am endlessly grateful for, but a YouTube career can present challenges to your life as well. Here's just one example of many. Because of the heavy workload of maintaining a YouTube channel, it's very easy to overwork yourself and not have a healthy day-to-day work-life balance. I struggle with working too many hours to this day. But if you have a standard 9-to-5 job, you clock out at a certain hour and thereby have downtime in your day that you can dedicate to whatever you want. It creates a far healthier relationship with work, and I sometimes miss that. Who out of any Disney villain /
I get that. I get that to a certain extent because...
As soon as she said, like, working too many hours, I was kind of thinking, like, this guy. This guy never takes a break. He's constantly going.
I don't. And it's been a detriment to me because of the amount of stuff I want to do.
This is like the closest you get to a break right now.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, I'm always helping Mom. I'm always like, dude... I've been helping the Gamer Lounge here over the last couple weeks, and, you know, I got a battle scar from it right here.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, some of you who've been, like, seen here recently in some of our videos, I've had this line right here. That's from me trying to put together a computer in a case for somebody, and through a sheer accident, I was hooking up cables in the back. I think it was the Ethernet cable. I was hooking it up in the back. And they had this little shelf that was hanging over top. I bring my head up, pow, and an immediate knee-jerk reaction. I bring my head back down. You know that happens. You know, you hit your head, you're like, ooh, you do that. I did that, and I brought my head straight down, and it hit the corner of the PC case right here, the sharp corner right at the back, just. And I looked, and I was bleeding a little bit, and then, you know, here we are a couple days later, and
lucky you didn't like smash the corner like right into your eye.
Oh, that'd have been absolute hell.
Even worse.
That'd been the worst possibility. Yeah, next thing you know, I'm going to the hospital. Like, you will not believe how this fucking happened. Yeah. So either way, yeah, I miss being able to just sit back and play whatever video games that I want. Not being able to do that like I used to all the time. But at the same time, I mean, who's to say in the future I won't be able to hire someone to help me edit, which I thought I had someone, but that didn't work out, which I'm really sad about, and which I've tried to message him a few times, and he's just ghosted me. I'm like, oh, sorry, man. But, I guess we'll see. Either way, back to this.
Antagonist would you trust to hold your drink at a definitely advertiser-friendly party? This one really got me thinking. It's such a thought-provoking question. But I boiled it down to Captain Gantu from Lilo & Stitch. I picked him because while he is definitely flawed, he has standards. Sure, he's got an ego and a quick temper, but he follows orders and protocol. He's bound to rules and regulations. In his mind, in the span of the entire film, he was doing the right thing and capturing a dangerous prisoner. He wasn't going out of his way to do anything particularly evil.
He's technically just doing his job.
Yeah, and he's, again, the standards, man. Just him being a...
There's one you definitely don't want holding your drink.
To hell with Bill Cipher. To hell with Bill Cipher.
And probably punch out anyone trying to mess with it. If you'd ever decide to stick to just one outfit for your animated character, what would it be?
Jesus.
I like how she yelled it because
it's all caps. It's like, anytime someone does that in our comment section, I'm just like, is your caps lock button broken? What the hell?
What the heck you yelling for? This isn't fate of the world stuff. There's no meteor. Just have some tea and relax. For a while now, for promotional materials and merchandise, I've tended to use this blue dress with black leggings and sandals. I call it the default dress. So if it came down to it, this would be my go-to. What are some subtle body language tricks that you use to help the expressiveness of your animation? Here are some quick tricks. One of the principles of animation is exaggeration, so pushing things here and there is going to make your body language a lot more expressive and entertaining. A teacher in animation school once told me that shoulders are the eyebrows of the body. Simply put, be sure you're utilizing the expressive capabilities of the shoulders when drawing. Be very specific about the emotion and intent behind your character's pose. This expresses very little and is kind of boring. This is very specific about what emotion it's expressing and is far more interesting to look at. And you can figure out all the best poses by doing them yourself in a mirror. This one's from TikTok. Muffins or cupcakes? Cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
Though one may argue that muffins become cupcakes once you put frosting on them.
Not
Now
necessarily.
I'm going to be like constantly just like hyper focusing on like all the little things that she does to make herself expressive when she
again,
animates. It's like right there I noticed like when she said that she like moved the head just slightly forward as she was staring at the cupcake.
Yeah, it's like looking at it with intent. She's like talking about it, and then like she pushes her head and just again, it's those little motifs and.
I think about exactly how much she put into like all of the body language stuff with her animations and all that, but that makes sense.
Dude,
whenever you animate without a mouth, it kind of, you know.
Well, my theater professor
helps to do extra things.
My theater professor, well, my first theater professor, Van Kieser, which God rest you, my dude, was one of the most integral people in my life to like body expression. You know, like moving your hands or moving your because he basically like the hands are like the signal flares for attention. So basically, move your hands around to like make points and everything. So whenever you see me like expressing myself and I like do hand gestures and all that, and
I feel like I only do that when I'm excited about something.
But and here's the thing. He says when people are excited and they aren't thinking about it, they naturally do it. And he says that is something that we as human beings have always done.
So as you can see right now, got to sit here without really moving.
Yeah. Whereas me, I use my hands all the time. So if you've ever seen some of our videos, I'm always like gesturing like over here, up there, down there, everywhere, hands to face. Yeah. Just I
think how still I am while I talk is maybe part of why people kind of put a chill persona with my character.
Yeah, and that's why they put a little bit of an overwhelming thing with me. Also, in terms of her thing here with muffins and cupcakes, there's a certain consistency with muffins versus cupcakes that definitely divides what a muffin and a cupcake is for me. But I can see her argument here that without frosting, it's almost muffins. Also, I love the fact she's using the muffin from Asdif movie as an example. Like, it's muffin time!
Just let me die!
It's like, but I'm not hungry. Somebody kill me!
Can you show us the art portfolio that you submitted to get into college? Ooh, you guys want to see more old art, do ya? Well, feast your eyes!
Huh.
So the thing that I remember about Ringling's...
Okay.
See it again. Like, I see someone else's portfolio, and I'm just like, God damn, I'm so bad at art.
Well, growing up around... dude, imagine me, dude. My mom's an art teacher. Like, one of the best artists in this area. Like, people have bought her art for thousands and thousands of dollars. And then there's me, who can't draw a circle. That's literally... like disappointment in every facet. Not only like, okay, people have been saying, "Oh, how's it like? Is your son a good artist? Is your son this? Is your son that?" And to my mom, and my mom's just like, "Well, no, he can't draw that good. Oh, I guess he doesn't take after it." It's like, thanks a lot. Thanks for like
although I
ripping
will say
my heart
that
out even more.
Playing through Chicory, A Colorful Tale has actually sort of given me some inspiration to try again.
Well, you have a good hand for it. I mean, I've seen your work. This dude actually can draw when he puts his mind to it. Me, on the other hand, I can't draw to save my life. My mom is extremely talented. Dude, you want to know how good my mom is? My mom drew this thing when she was 14. She was 14, and it was an art piece. The county fair, you were not allowed to enter unless you were 18 or older. My grandmother took the painting and said, I will enter this into it and say that I did it, and if it wins anything, I will give you the money. My mom won. and my mom got like $100. At 14, my mom won an adult art competition. And then there's me. That's the other thing too. Mom, I'm trying to talk Mom into coming back on the channel here and like sitting videos with me. And I can't wait to hear the people just be like, dude, that's your mom? What happened? I'm just going to be like, thanks for, calling me a hideous fucking chud all over again. Anyway. Oh.
The thing that I remember about Ringling's portfolio requirements was you had to have exactly 10 pieces. None of it could be digital art, and they wanted to see variety in the mediums you could work in and also the things that you could paint and draw. None of this is excessively brilliant, but it got me into Ringling. But I just want to say, if I can get into animation school on this kind of portfolio, you know what? You can too. What's the weirdest thing you hate that mostly no one else does? Goat cheese. It is the single most disgusting color.
Okay, there might be something wrong with her taste buds.
This man puts goat cheese on almost everything.
Okay, no, that's a lie. That's a lie.
I'm joking, but
no.
This man is a connoisseur for goat cheese. He loves goat cheese.
No, goat cheese is fucking delicious. It doesn't go on everything, but it is fucking delicious.
Oh, dude.
No, the main thing is put fucking goat cheese on scrambled eggs and do them British style. Like, that's delicious.
I made brisket. I made a brisket.
Oh, yeah,
recently.
I did do that. I was like, what can I put on a brisket sandwich that would be, like, worthy of this ridiculously, like, tenderly prepared, like, meat? And I was like, goat cheese. Like, so I made a goat cheese and brisket sandwich.
And how was it?
It's fucking delicious.
Exactly. I'll say this. I've tried goat cheese. Not my thing, but I will say that I'm glad that, someone like my brisket, in which the brisket's basically all gone now because people have just devoured it. I sent it to my mom, and my stepdad tried it, and he's just like, what's the recipe? Give it to me right now. Give me the recipe right now. I'm just like, okay, fine. And I still haven't given him the recipe. I'm going to save that. I'm going to sort of hold that over his head. It's like, oh, you want to know my secret? You want to know my secret? Well, too bad.
Culinary taste I have ever encountered. To cooks everywhere, keep that garbage out of my mac and cheese. What are some of your favorite
put it in
channels?
my mac and cheese,
Well, I've got
too.
some new ones I can tell you about. Speedrun, Defunctland. Kevin and his team create incredibly professional, accurate, and entertaining
love
documentary
Defunctland.
videos on defunct theme parks, rides, shows, and even more. Cinema Therapy, a channel where a licensed therapist and a filmmaker sit down and discuss mental health with the themes and plots of popular movies, especially animated movies. Technical Antonym, a talented stop-motion storytime animator whose content is very smart, witty, and sincere. He's a very hard worker and deserves more sub.
Hey! He even put her in a video.
Sideways, an incredible channel that talks about movie soundtracks and musicals, explaining in hilarious ways how important music is in telling stories and how filmmakers have failed to properly utilize it in the past.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Wildlife Aid, a channel of British people with very dry senses of humor rescuing foxes, swans, hedgehogs, and more in the heart of the UK. Donations and views are how they support their foundation, so go give them a watch to save the animals. If you could get any animal magical creatures count, what would it be? I will be taking my Butterfree and Squirtle now. Yes, I will be taking 2 creatures. This isn't Sophie's Choice. I love my children equally. Now, excuse me, I must go buy them little outfits. What's your favorite pizza? All right, here's the Rebecca Parham official favorite pizza ever. Stuffed crust, extra cheese, ham, onions, garlic, if they have it, and pineapple!
Oh!
Ruined it.
Okay.
I can only do pineapple if it is like a barbecue, like specifically basically built around the fact that it has pineapple on it.
Yes. I agree with that.
You can't just go throwing pineapple on another kind of pizza and expect it to be good.
She had me. I gotta be honest.
Parham official favorite
She had
pizza
me.
ever.
Well, she lost
Stuffed
you.
crust.
She lost you at onions, I'm sure.
Stuffed crust. Well, onions because I'm allergic to them. I mean, literally, it makes my stomach literally like cause a fit. But extra cheese, yes.
Extra cheese, ham.
Ham, I like. Actually, there is a place that actually does bacon down here, and it's really good. But I also like classic pepperoni.
Onions, garlic.
Garlic, I don't mind. Garlic, I mean, especially if it's very finely minced or crushed. I love garlic on stuff.
If they have it.
Put garlic in literally everything.
And pineapples! Yeah.
Ugh. And that right there. everything else right there, not for me. Not really for me. I mean, Rebecca, you do you, and if you enjoy that, enjoy that. I mean, hell, it's everything's like the fact that we have abundance to this level and we're able to choose what we want on our pizza, and it's not like a government pizza thing where it's just like you must have pepperoni.
Well, the main thing is like
mushroom.
a lot of
That
people.
That is only choice.
A lot of people like do this whole thing where they're like, okay, we're ordering pizza for a party. And if you're ordering pizza for a party and you're not going to go through the trouble of asking everyone and getting them their own half of pizza and stuff, like if you're ordering a pizza for a lot of people, you have two choices. You have cheese and pepperoni. If you start putting pineapple on that shit,
no one's going to eat it.
No. Like,
well, not most
that
people.
better be
I'm not
your
gonna say
own
no
pizza
one,
that you paid for, because like most, you can't just go putting ingredients on a party pizza that are severely controversial to start with. I'm not gonna subject everyone to an Alfredo sauce pizza at a party. Like, I'll just eat fucking pepperoni. It's like whatever. But like, my favorite kind of pizza, hands down, that I'm always gonna order for myself is Alfredo sauce instead of regular sauce. And then feta cheese, and then whatever I feel
either
like.
mushroom or steak.
Yeah, mushroom, steak, or spinach.
Or spinach, yeah. Spinach
depending on what I
also
feel like for an extra topping.
So, whenever I order pizza here at this house for like me and Nick or Kate and Kathan, I always ask them, hey, what do you want? And I'm more than willing to get them their own individual pizzas. That's kind of how I roll. But when we were doing the
it's kind of what I get paid in for like doing this part of the channel.
Well,
I get paid in money for editing, but
well, yeah. But also another thing too is whenever we were doing the movie production, I tried to do that with everybody, but everyone else was just like, dude, you don't have to do that, because there were like over a dozen people on set.
Yeah, that's
and they were just like, dude, just get 6 cheese pizzas and 6 pepperoni pizzas. No need to write down individual orders like that. I'm like, all right, fine. And I went and got everyone pizza. Everyone was happy. But then we did an order at KFC, and I went to that KFC, and when they got done, and when they saw the order pop up on their thing after the dude typed it in, I literally heard an exacerbated from the back where the cook was like, "Are you kidding me?" and I'm like, sorry. I mean, we're doing a movie down the road.
Yeah, that's why pizza is a better idea when you have a lot of people.
Because it's easier to cook.
Because taking individual orders from people is just overwhelming for not just yourself and everyone at the party, but also, everyone at the party is literally having to sit there and wait while everyone else gives their order.
Yeah.
And so that takes extra time. And then,
but
then, the people who work at the restaurant are going to be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Everyone at the studio when we were making the movie was very very quick about.
Because my whole thing is like, you do pizza obviously, but then if you're going to like McDonald's, I would just literally be like, "All right, I'm going to buy like 30 McChickens and 30 McDoubles, and you can pick which one you want."
Well,
I'll get like 10 of them plain on each order, so people can add what they want to theirs.
I remembered whenever I was ordering and I got to Jake Sutton, one of the cinematographers, he literally said, "Well, man, I'm going to have to get something that's very easy to eat because I have this throat condition." And I looked at him and I'm like, "Hiatal hernia?" And he's like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I'm like, "Me too, bro!" It's the first person outside of my family I have ever met that also has a hiatal hernia. That shit sucks, dude, especially when you're trying to eat. That's why dates are so awkward for me, because I'm just like, I chew my food very, very, very finely, and then they're just like, he has spent all that time on one bite of food.
The way you tell it just makes me feel like you're just like, both of our lives suck for the same reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, high five. It's like when I meet someone else with asthma, I'm like, yeah, it sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, Jake Sutton is one of the coolest guys, too. Him and his brother both, Jake and Luke, are just like... And I'm trying to get them in on helping us with the next part too. But they're saying they're going to be busy going to Colorado or something like that over the next few months. And I'm just like, please come back. You guys were so awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, they'll be back eventually.
Well, I know that, but
we're not planning to make a second part in the next few months.
Well, pre-production wise, I don't know.
I feel like you should put out the current part first and see how that does.
Well, true, but I always want to plan ahead just in case things go good.
Because this time you need to make sure that you have extra budget ahead of time. So.
Yeah, that's true, because it about cleaned me the frick out.
Do not rush it.
I don't plan on rushing it.
Yep, I have made my stance on this excessively important debate. Pineapples belong on pizza. I expect your declarations of war in the comments below. Have you ever wanted to do a raffle to give away original art? Wow, that is oddly specific and oddly on point. My merch team and I have a new set of art prints in the shop called the Spellbound Collection, and all 3 were done entirely by me. If you purchase a set of prints before the 15th of April, you will be automatically entered into our golden ticket raffle. 3 lucky winners will receive actual golden tickets in their orders and win one of 3 original one-of-a-kind pencil sketches I drew while designing these art prints. They will be signed and framed for your convenience. Link in the description below to my store, and don't forget you have to order the set before April 15th to be entered into the raffle.
You know, my eye catches things every now and again, and I hate the fact that my eye just do that. It's just like that Seth video, which I'm glad it caught it for the Seth video, because if I didn't catch that, we'd probably be demonetized right now on that. But right here, there's a little animation gaff. Oh, right there it was.
Oh, it was not colored in.
Her palm right there goes green for a couple frames.
Yeah.
Actually, it's on 2 frames.
Maybe it's on purpose. Like, maybe it's to, like... I mean, like, you think she would have took the line out as well, but it's like, you know, uncurling the fingers to move up.
She's bending her arm up. She's doing the little beginning of the arm bend
like
animation.
Here she has her fingers like
shut.
this, and it's like, obviously, I don't think she meant to uncurl her fingers, so I think just the line still being there is what made it look strange.
Yeah.
So that, like, it can move up, you know?
Well, again, I hate that my mind and my eyes do that. They just catch shit like that all the time, and I hate it. But her eyes close and her arm starts to bend. Yeah, it's that little beginning of the bend animation that then gives into the frame where it's just up like that. That's why it's little, like, movement tricks like that that like Japanese animation studios do all the time, and it makes the animation process so much easier.
And don't forget, you have to order the set before April 15th to be entered into the raffle. Alright, that's all I got, explainers and entertainers. Thank you so much for tuning in, but now I gotta tune out. Bye!
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was a good one. I must say, that was a great video. And I gotta say, you know, I'm glad that she's still like she's enjoying herself as a YouTuber, and she isn't. There's some YouTubers out there who are very remorseful about the fact that they're YouTubers. Just like, I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything. It's like, well, again, I mean, it's just the price of fame to a certain extent. I've heard like the Paul brothers complain about it to a certain degree, and I'm just like, who cares? But then I sit back and I'm like, what if that was me? And I literally, if I wanted to go and just get a cup of coffee somewhere, sit down and enjoy myself, there's 10,000 people who are just, like, over my shoulder. Like, half of them want an autograph, half of them are recording me, and then a certain sect of them are egging me on to try and make me do something crazy so that they can...
And that's when you learn the art of disguise.
There's no disguising this. There's literally no disguising me. Because everyone's just like, hey, wait, tall, fat guy, ugly-ass face. You're wearing... Nate, take off that hat. Well, I know that's you. I'll basically have to, like, shave off my beard and go bald. That way people won't know what the hell I look like. Except for my family. My family will always know what I look like.
So my friends actually tried to disguise me one time so that I could spy on one of my friends' at the time girlfriend. Because he was just suspect that she might have been up to something shady.
Oh, how'd that go?
It didn't work. She
See?
recognized me.
See? I mean, dude, that's just, like, that's, again...
They were like, she hasn't seen you in, like, 3 years, man. Like, you, just, like, put your hair in a ponytail, like, wear these glasses, like, I'm gonna give you, like, a shirt and shoes that aren't, like, what you normally wear and stuff, you know?
A hat is usually the best thing to do to, like, get people, like, that's what a lot of people who talk about disguises, a hat plus different pair of glasses, and also changing up your facial hair, or your regular, or just like your hair. just in particular. That's one thing that, like, starting from the top. And then your wardrobe, you want to try and do something completely opposite of what you're normally doing, which your friends had a good start on it, I get, but I mean, your hair in a ponytail, I mean, I've seen you with a ponytail. And
I mean, one of the things that I think could really help is if you were to learn how to use makeup properly to basically be able to change, like, the shape of your face with makeup. Like, what do they call that? I forget. Like, contouring?
Yeah.
You can actually contour and, like, actually do things with makeup. Like, I've seen, like, women especially that practice it a lot on themselves, like, really, really good at it. And you can sort of actually change the shape of your face with it, like, because, or at least give the illusion of you having a different shape of face. And I think something like that would be one of the best things to add to, like, a disguise to, like, really throw people off.
Also, another thing too that would benefit would be the what is it? Oh yeah, was also some people talk about how they change their faces for, like, in terms of, like, just moving their jawline or like perking their ears back or something like that. Like me, I can perk my ears back a little bit. Like I can.
Also, changing your posture and the way that you move is a deeper element of it too.
Also, adding a limp to your leg, which here's the thing, in order to, like,
that kind of goes into changing your posture.
It's
an extreme change to posture.
Yeah, like I do that sometimes because I'm just like here's the thing, I often, like, when people perceive you as weak, they're less likely to like try and they're less likely to remember you or.
The other thing about
like
that though is, like, if you add something as extravagant as, like, a limp to the way you walk, you've essentially made the way you walk very unique for most people, and therefore have actually drawn more attention to yourself. And I think when you're trying to be in a disguise, you want to draw the least amount of attention to yourself that you can. Like, for example, one of the things that we did with my disguise, I think, was they had me wear a more brightly colored shirt. And I'm like, well, that makes sense in terms of, like, being opposite of what I would normally wear. It also draws more attention to me.
It does.
In general.
In truth, I typically go for black and gray. Black and gray for my shirts because that's just what I'm used to. And in terms of my leg wear, I often go with shorts, or I go with sweatpants, or I go with jeans every now and again. But for the most part, my wardrobe is very plain, that it doesn't stand out in that way. It doesn't draw attention. And also, the thing with the limp is that, you know, that's something when people see that, they're, you know, people, like, seeing people limping makes people uncomfortable and just makes them, like, look away like, oh, what happened to that guy? Like, that's a psychological thing that they've confirmed with multiple, like, experiments in candidly with people at random. Like, they're just like, oh, that person looked away from, you know, that guy who's limping, and it's like it makes people uncomfortable, and thus it breaks the line of their eye contact with you. It's all about wanting them to break eye contact with you and them not wanting to look at you anymore. And thus they made, like, a mental note of you, and it's just like, okay, so that dude, he's over there, I'm just gonna, like, not look over there now. And it's weird how people are in public with that kind of stuff. And I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it, man. I would be a horrible spy. I would be. I'd be a terrible, terrible spy. Even though, you know, I feel like I could blend in almost anywhere. Anyway, so yeah, that was Let Me Explain Studios with Do I Regret Becoming a YouTuber QnA. I'm gonna leave a like on that. And pineapple? Really? There. I'm just playing into her bit with the pineapple. Anyway, that's going to do it, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time, Nate.
I'm Nick.
See you later, everybody. Peace.